The dark side of financial literacy, and why the rich learn something else. Financial literacy is hailed as the key to escaping poverty, avoiding debt, and building wealth. And yes, understanding how money works is important. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Financial literacy alone won't make you rich. In fact, the way it's taught to the masses might be doing more harm than good. Because while the average person learns how to budget, save, and minimize expenses, the wealthy learn how to control, multiply, and manipulate money. Let's dive into the dark side of financial literacy, and what the rich are really learning instead. 1. You're taught to be a better consumer, not a wealth builder. The mainstream version of financial literacy focuses on being smart with your money. Cut back on lattes, use coupons, build an emergency fund, avoid credit cards, save 10% of your income. These aren't bad tips, they're safe. But safety doesn't lead to wealth. Ownership does. The system teaches you to manage your money just well enough to function, so you can keep spending, stay compliant, and never question the deeper game being played. Meanwhile, the rich are learning how to own businesses, leverage debt, and scale investments. You're taught to survive. They're taught to dominate. 2. Saving alone will never make you wealthy. Save your money. It's the go-to advice from parents, teachers, and financial gurus. But here's the catch: saving is losing. Every year, inflation eats away the value of your cash. What $1,000 bought 5 years ago barely covers groceries today. So while you're hoarding savings in a high-yield account earning 4%, inflation is climbing at 6 to 7%. Meanwhile, the rich are borrowing money at low interest, investing in assets that return 10 to 20%, and letting inflation erase the real cost of their debt. They're using the system to get richer. You're trying to outsave a game you were never meant to win. 3. The budgeting trap. Budgeting is sold as the cornerstone of financial control. But here's the problem: you can't budget your way to wealth. Sure, tracking expenses is useful, but obsessing over pennies can blind you to opportunities. The wealthy don't obsess over cutting $10, they obsess over how to make $10,000. If your financial plan is based only on restriction, you'll always operate from fear, not abundance. Real wealth isn't built by limitation. It's built by expansion, of income, of knowledge, of ownership. 4. You're taught to avoid debt. The rich use it to win. Most financial advice demonizes debt. Debt is slavery. Cut up your credit cards. Pay off everything. Again, good advice for consumers. But the wealthy? They don't avoid debt. They use it. They borrow to buy real estate, launch companies, fund investments, reduce taxes to them. Debt is a tool, not a trap. They don't use debt to consume. They use it to build. And the interest they pay is often dwarfed by the returns they generate. You're taught to fear debt. They're taught to leverage it. 5. The rich learn how to protect their wealth. You don't. Financial literacy for the masses rarely includes asset protection, tax strategy, or legal structuring. You're taught how to file taxes, not how to legally reduce them. You're taught to save in a retirement fund, not how to shield assets with trusts or LLCs. The rich use corporations, offshore entities, and complex legal frameworks to protect and grow their money. You're playing checkers. They're playing 4D chess. And here's the twist: everything they do is legal. They just know the rules, and you don't. 6. Financial literacy teaches compliance, not control. The ultimate dark truth? Financial literacy is designed to make you better at following rules, not rewriting them. You're told to pay your taxes on time, stick to the system, max out your 401k, retire at 65. But by the time you retire, you've given away your prime years, your time, freedom, and your dreams, for security that inflation, market crashes, or policy changes can wipe out. Meanwhile, the rich design their own rules. They start businesses and pay themselves last. After tax planning, they invest in vehicles that legally avoid taxes. They build passive income streams and retire young. Not because they stopped working, but because they stopped trading time for money. They don't play the game better. They play a different game entirely. 7. Financial literacy keeps you comfortable, not free. At the core, financial literacy makes you a well-behaved participant in the economic system. It teaches you how to be less broke, but not truly wealthy. It tells you how to retire safely, but not how to escape the rat race. It gives you the tools to survive, but not the mindset to thrive. True wealth isn't built by mastering expense trackers. It's built by understanding value, leverage, ownership, and control. If you want what the rich have, you can't just study what they say. You must study what they do, quietly, strategically, behind the curtain. Conclusion. Learn what the rich are really learning. Financial literacy is a starting point, not a destination. It teaches you how to live within the system. But if you want to rise above it, you need to learn how to earn exponentially, not linearly, how to use debt to build, not consume, how to invest with intelligence, not fear, how to protect wealth through structure, not luck, how to build freedom, not just comfort. The dark side of financial literacy is this. It gives you just enough knowledge to stay afloat, but not enough to truly break free. If you're tired of surface-level advice and ready to learn how wealth really works, hit the like button and subscribe. Share this with someone stuck in the financial hamster wheel, and help them see the bigger game.